Well, we got a project going on right now. I haven't been recording lately because, like I said earlier, we've just been doing weird stuff. But I guess, well, Christoph, he was having a knock sensor. I think it was a knock sensor for the gearbox that was bad, and he was having, it was throwing codes, but it was still chopping. But we got that fixed on there yesterday. But that's why the chopper's sitting there. Anyways, on this, we've been having the problem now for definitely most of the spring. We just have yet to find the time to correctly fix this bucket. We've kind of been come along it over and re-welding it, but it's about paper thin. There was a weld-on cutting edge that was right here, but you can see that one is actually chipped away, and it's now on the factory one that came with it, and that's now chipped away, and it's just, it's still kind of 1/4 inch thick everywhere, except for where you actually got a weld on the side right here. I had to weld a piece of plate on to get it to hold through, but then we moved some stones with it, and it really crunkled the side of it. So what I got a long, we had to get a 24-foot section of steel for that gravel box we did, or was it 20 foot? I can't remember. When we did that last year, we still had a 19-inch strip that we still have, but we had nothing to do with it. Well, finally, that's long enough, because this is wider than an 8-foot sheet, so I wasn't gonna be able to do it actually today. I was just gonna have to cobble it back together, but I realized I still have that long sheet of steel. So we're gonna, camera don't pick it up, but it arches right here. So we're gonna cut it right here. We're gonna leave these, because these are still good. We'll cut the welds off, and I think there's three underneath, but those aren't looking the hottest, but maybe we'll leave them, I'm not sure. But anyways, we're gonna cut it off right along that, all the way across, and we'll put a new floor in. I have a new weld-on cutting edge, because they're like almost half the price of the bolt-on one. And this bucket, then a weld-on one will last long enough for us, we're not too worried. We got tipped over, and you can see how this plate right here is completely worn out, and then on the sides here there was no wear guard, and it is paper thin. And we're gonna cut that right there without cutting the front one. This middle one is actually still in decent shape, but it's already half worn out too, and I gotta cut it and get behind it for the cut the floor part. And then same with this one. We'll save the front one, and technically it's all cut but those 3 spots, and it should just flip off. Is it going to? Probably not. But we still have good steel here on the side. We'll clean it up, and we can butt it up. We can weld it good. And then we can have a good floor and weld on our cutting edge. And I gotta straighten this. When that broke, the rock ripped it off, and yeah. I unhooked the bucket, and I'm gonna go attempt to carry that heavy thing over here and place it on there. I tipped it over that way. This isn't gonna get welded onto here, but it'll stop it from sliding down, and I'll weld that piece, at least tack it on, that way the sidewalls and are not moving everywhere on me. Should make it a little bit easier. Put the dirty side on the bottom. Well, you see how it's about to go. I gotta figure that out, but should be cut to the right width. It should butt up right on the inside right here. And I might have to get something to hold it steady for me. I bent this back straight. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just twisted because the floor and the weld separated. So I got this hanging up here. I did the only logical thing, and I welded 2 old bolts that were in the steel pile on there as a wedge, and it's just kind of chilling there right now. But we'll get it set up into place. I gotta kick it in there, tack it, wedge this out a little bit, and then we'll get it figured out. Once this part's good and placed and tacked, either I'll fully weld it and then work on the back part, or I'll just cut the back part out and then I'll have everything and I'll weld it all in one shot. Either way, it's gonna get done. It's the next day. I've been working on this a little bit now. I got these squares put on both sides here. I do gotta grind this old torch mark off. That way the cutting edge will sit there, but got these two new ones on. It's the same thickness as the old one, but these are actually square. I gotta weld the front side and the other side, but I'm gonna lay it down flat now. I gotta grind this smooth, that way I welded it a little extra, that way it's all welded and there was no dips, and we'll smooth it out. We'll do the rest of this. Christoph's doing something. Ferdy just had his Big M here earlier. He went through that, greased it, and he's mowing. He sharpened all his knives. Christoph's doing something with the 84. But yeah, we're gonna tip it down now. I'll get those squares done welded. And now that I put this here, I gotta heat this up and finish squaring that. And then I can finish welding that crack up, but I had to get this on here to get this corner right, and then we'll get it all done. But yes, she's coming along. This side went a lot easier because it didn't get bent. But we're coming. That I finished up earlier. I don't remember if I recorded that or not, but those are all on. We're working on that. Christoph's pulling this in now. He's been lollygagging all day. Anyways, we got 2 airbags leak in the back too. We got 1 barbecuing.
I was gonna have my dinner after that with that.
Yeah, you can. Anyways, I cut those off. He's gonna pop the bottom bolt off, and the airlines. He'll replace that. Christoph can't. He's looking for it. Oh, Pierre's here.
Lollygagging too.
Lollygag. But yeah, he's replacing both those airbags. See, he likes to use a nail hammer, mainly because it's the only thing he could find. But that way he's ready for any.
There's somebody that could torch better.
If you could just hit better.
I hit good enough.
That's 4 misses.
I got to fix all that. I got new ones here.
It's also getting 2 new rear shocks.
Yeah,
See, I torched it just fine. It came off. And it's gonna get both new rear shocks. They're bad.
I should order the last 2 on that.
Well, on the bucket situation, last night, I cut out that back piece right here. It was all going good, and then Christoph was measuring, and he goes, how long did you say that was? And I told him it was like a 99" and 3/4 was this piece. The other one was 100. It's a little bent, so that's why they're about a 1/4 inch different. But anyways, he goes, did you measure the cutting edge? And he ordered an 8-foot cutting edge because he thought it was an 8-foot bucket. It's actually 8 foot 4 inches. So it's not long enough by 4 inches, and it has to be that long because it needs to weld onto those 2 corner pieces that I mounted. So that project's kind of messed up a little bit. But anyways, that's why we have 2 pushing tractors, right? Well, we can't actually order the right one because Memorial weekend, and Monday they're closed, so Tuesday it'll be ordered. So I'm gonna have to weld this in, and we're just gonna be careful with it, and it's not gonna have a cutting edge if we need it as a backup. But that's why we're gonna push with the 86, right? But anyways, that's what's going on there. That was on our mistake, but you know, happens. I gotta grind off these nubs at some point, and we gotta weld this still in, but that is what it is. This, the 4-ways and blinkers stopped working. The relay that's under the dash that runs the blinkers, that went, so he's getting a new one. And the John Deere's back.
Yes.
Well, it ended up being like a solenoid or something. It actually gave them a good run for their money to figure out, so it took a little while, but we got it back. Hopefully it should be good now. We gotta put the panels on. Marcus already went and got them from the shop.
Yep.
And we gotta unchain it, and then we'll take it off. We do have the blinker here now, but because it went back down, we never put it back on. So at some point we gotta put that on, but for now it's still duct tape. So we're gonna take it off, and Marcus, what are you gonna do with it?
Head down, put it on the dump wagon.
That's what he wants to use today.
So we got all the chains off it, and now started it up, putting it in gear. It runs fine, it drives fine.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. And we just switched the black Western Star off the manure tank, and we're gonna take Phillips off the gravel box and put his on the feed box. Marcus, you gonna go put that on the dump wagon? Oh, I gotta put your... Yeah, I'll put them on for you. They got the dump wagon put on. I had to recharge the AC on this. It was a little low, and Marcus wanted it cold. So he's gonna have that for his unit for today. Pierre's gonna probably run the trailer. Didn't make it out of the yard? Love it. You think that's an angry Christoph? Honestly, would you have been mad?
I don't even want to say it.
He put it in park. Marcus was only putting it in neutral and then trying again. He put it in park and it worked, so I don't know. Nothing, he put it in park and it worked. Well, Philip's on the bunk over there. JC just showed up. He's driving one truck, Pierre's driving the other. And I am driving this, not to the field they're chopping in, but to the field that we know we're gonna start needing dump wagon in. There we go. That little locker mechanism was back. Couldn't get it in 19. But we're gonna bring it to the field that we know we need dump wagon in. That way Marcus has it there. And my mom, she just went and got my dad. He was doing some excavating. And she's gonna come pick me up. She's in Ferdy's truck right now. Ferdy's got everything mowed over there by King's. He mowed pine cone here yesterday. And we're headed to Berkshire, right in town, right near the Oaks. That's where we're going, right across from. Those are actually going to be getting combined tomorrow. They were ready already, I think 2 weeks ago, but with the weather we were getting, and then being able to line someone up to come at the same time because people are busy too, doing their own stuff. And the stretcher weather just doesn't line up all the time, but finally we have a week's good weather and it's going to get done tomorrow. A good portion of it is laying down, but if it didn't rain so much it wouldn't have happened. But it is what it is. It's just a really wet year. We got Pierre there. He's running the trailer today. The antenna's broken, so we have bad reception on some parts, but you can see Gerhardt's actually not in his field yet, mainly because he got a late start going, so he wasn't able to get going. We had a lot of stuff going on this morning, but we got figured out. We're pulling out of the shop with the 120. Yes, the door's off. It kind of finished getting destroyed. We got the pull type double rake, and I don't know why I said pull type, but we got the double rake. Birdie's right there knocking down grass, and because Gerhardt didn't get a good head start, he only got about a 20-minute head start, and it's not enough. He's got to get a little bit more than that going ahead of the chopper. A good hour or two, if he's ahead, then he's good all day. But 20 minutes ain't enough. So I'm gonna go take this and at least help him catch up. That way he's got a good lead on Christoph, and then I'll do some other stuff. But there's a lot of grass. Well, we're here behind Christoph's, and with a triple rake it's just one pass, but with a double it's just a double to close it in for the big M. So it still works good either way. A little soft spot right there. Well, not bad, you can barely see it. He mowed this yesterday. I think he started around noon mowing yesterday. It's probably got mowed around 4 o'clock. So had plenty of time to dry. Well, I didn't. Yeah, so Garrett was running. I gotta give him my rake. He went over the CB and said the tractor won't slow down or speed up. It's just staying at a constant 5. He was staying at a constant 5 miles an hour. So he finished this little section because it was at the right speed. All right, she's throwing code. Oh, the camera's not picking it up. Take a picture of it, look it up. I think that's the code that it throws for the sensor that went on the 86 and the 84, but I can't remember. I don't think it's the same code, but basically it is not driving like it's supposed to. So we'll see. Otherwise I'm gonna throw the 86 on. Yeah, that code ain't going nowheres. We got it unhooked. We're gonna put it on mine. That way, Gerhardt's over there. He got that field about half raked. It's soft. Okay. Christoph's gonna unhook it, and then we'll put this on there. I did this little section here for Gerhardt. It's right across this little section here. He was doing that. They're starting to chop, and I was just gonna run the double rake today for a while, but you know, you make a plan, but it never goes accordingly. And probably someone's gonna mention junk Massey's and this and that in the comments, just like we talk about John Deere like that, but at the end of the day, they're all pieces of shit when they're broken. My last rake had to turn a little bit, and she doesn't want to go down all the way. There we go. But yeah, they're all junk when they're broken. But we move on, and we ain't got time today to keep messing with that. And if it's what I think it is, it probably has to go to Canada, because the code's throwing a communication code with the transmission, and I looked it up, and it might be ECM for the transmission or whatever you call that. I mean, or it could and it's blowing a bunch of different fuses. It's blowing fuses that run all this console stuff. It won't let it select high or low range. So there's a lot going on with it right now. Pleasant Valley here, they mowed. It's good weather, so everyone's knocking it down. We just got done behind Kristoff's, which is right over there. Now we're working our way towards the pine cone. Got this little strip of grass here that's above the corn. I'm staying folded up. We just haven't switched back. I got this little strip done. Gerhard did that one up there. There's just a hill here, so just leave it grass. But yeah, I'm gonna go head over there to the knoll. Gerhard headed over to do the little ones by Kings, and then we'll head over there to Pinecone grass field. Well, I was raking. Now you see me at the bunk. Philip just blew a main hose that supplies the oil to the bucket system. Yeah, that's how today's going. I'm gonna put this bucket on the 84 since I didn't finish that project. They hook on, we've done it before, so I'm not worried. It's a main hose. So basically it's going to piss a lot of oil, and I'm gonna drive it very fast out of the way. So that's how it's gonna go. Well, since you saw that other bucket didn't get finished because kind of don't have the right cutting edge, and I really don't want to wear out that mild steel. And yes, all we're doing is pushing, but it happens quick to wear that kind of steel out. So if I can prevent using that bucket till we get a cutting edge, I'm going to. And since that one's down anyways, I'm gonna put that bucket on. We had to do it once before because when the bucket blew out the first time, we just put that bucket on this tractor to load manure, I think it was. That is where that tractor's gonna sit. It literally pumped all the oil out, so that's really bad for it. But kind of what you gotta do. I drove backwards as fast as I could, but we're in low range, so you're maxed out on the speed. Well, I just went through and greased this real quick. Fits right on here. That's the nice thing about these universal European hooks. Fits right on each other, and she's good to go.
You can stay because I only got one more. I'll fill both loads into here. That's a big 10 for her. So you can take a nap for 2 minutes.
We are back in the field and going.
I can't sleep like Marcus. Practice makes perfect.
Alright, well, we're in the pine cone field. See, sometimes it does it, and sometimes it doesn't, but I can't turn it on any slower. And this has a very gentle start, but that middle rake will do that sometimes. But we'll keep going. So, yeah, they got this whole field. This is a very nice field to rake. It's a perfect, almost a perfect
When you're
square.
tired enough, that steering wheel is as soft as any pillow.
Ain't that the truth? Well, it's about one of the most square fields. Yeah, they're right over there. So they're gaining, because that bucket incident just slowed me down, but that's why we're running 2 rakes right now, and I just screwed up that corner. Anyways, the nice thing with these fields is like, it's one pass even on the end rows, except for like the top corners, but I don't have to redo this whole side down. Raking around 7 miles an hour. She's doing a clean job. I like it. We're about half done the field. I had a wet hole right there. Birdie was able to mow it with the big M, but I had to rake around it to get the windrows out of the wet hole. And Kristoff is here. Pierre and Marcus. Marcus followed him to the field. There is more raked already over what Garrett was doing, but it's just kind of the path that they're taking, kind of the normal routine of the order, and I'll be done this before they're done chopping. They'll be right on my tail by the end of it, I'm pretty sure. But then there's a bunch of fields ready over there by King's. Now I'm looking behind me, trying to record, and I'm not paying attention to where I'm driving, but I am still getting all the grass.
Am I heading back to that same field or no? No, I'm past the tank road.
Well, I was completely wrong. I haven't raked in a while, apparently, because I literally went up and down 3 times, and I'm done. And they haven't even made it around.
Christoph, you really got an audience, so we're gonna follow it.
It's talking about the pines on there.
I like filling it, I have no problem.
Pierre actually works for the for Scott, who owns that.
Just tell me where you want me to be so you can make it a nice symmetrical load.
We're gonna have to put the sideboards up. But it's easier chopping into that with them down for grass and the dump wagon. They gotta be down. But yeah, I just did 3 passes and I finished the field. If we didn't merge it with the mower, I would have had to do 6 passes. So you do have to, the longest part of the field is doing the outside perimeter, and that's if you merge it or not. It's just the biggest part of the field. But once like fields like this that are nice and square, you get going, it is just fast. Being able to do one.
We'll go up on the 3rd one because that's the driest one.
It is fast just being able to do 1 pass and close the windrow, not having to come back around and close it. This cut, it's not bad, but when there's less grass like there was in 2nd, we would like to be able to put 90 feet into a windrow instead of just like 64 feet, which is what the Big M's mowing at, with up and down because it's 32 feet at a time. But the rake isn't wide enough to put 3 more passes together. So yeah, we're stuck doing it like this, or you lose a lot of time because he has to do 3 passes instead of just an up and down to make a windrow. And we'll just make do with how we're doing it. Christoph is loading it. Oh, right on camera. Must have caught a wall. Oh no, that's my fault because I had to rake over that corner by the wet hole, so I got extra feed from the windrow next to it. That's why that just happened to him. Well, Garrett and me are going up the King Road now. I'm doing the side hill because it's a lot easier with the triple rake than that double rake. That double rake, you get on a hill with it. It's not bad when it's down, but you try to pick it up and turn around, the weight shifts and it kind of tries flipping over the front rake with the weight of the back one. It pushes you. So it kind of sucks on steep hills when you're trying to turn around. It'll work, but I'm just doing it so it's easier. So he's on the other side of the road right there. Luckily, throughout this chaotic day, we're able to get something done. I'm glad JC and Pierre were able to come help. It's very helpful. Right now we're lucky we only need the 2 trucks because we're close enough, and with the 1 trailer and Marcus running a dump wagon, it was enough to keep up. I bet they could have used the 2 dump wagons, but from what I was hearing, they were able to go with the trucks on a lot of it, so maybe they probably didn't. And even if they did, we didn't have the people to drive it. So we may do. Pretty productive day. They're still chopping, but it's 7 o'clock right now. I'm gonna end the video. We're gonna rake till dark, or at least until the grass is wet from dew setting in. And that'll be it for tonight. But it's kind of all over the place video. Thanks for watching. Till the next one.